Welcome back to our spoon. On today's episode, we're going to be doing a pile of random jobs on the Datto to try and get it ready for its first startup. We're going to be installing the new gear shifter inside the Datto, as well as a pile of coolant lines in the engine bay, and we're also going to be installing a new flex fuel sensor, amongst a whole pile of other things. So, if you're keen for all that, stay tuned. Alrighty, it is now time to mount the shifter into the Datto. So this shifter that we've got here, that's out of a Hyundai Terracan. Now, I've roughly got it into position. Luckily, there was already a big gaping hole in the trans tunnel of the Datto, so that's making fitting up a little bit easier to judge where things are going to go. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a bulge there, so that will sit in the flat, and then we can kind of get it mounted on its four mounting ears, front and rear. Just need to take out a little bit more of the hole in the trans tunnel just to make it sit down where it needs to, and then we'll just see what needs to then get trimmed down or modified to make it fit, because it's currently sitting against the seat, which is not ideal. So yeah, let's probably get the seat out, do some grinding, and just make it happen. As you've probably seen, there's a little bit of holage at the front and rear of the shifter. So I'm just going to leave that for the moment. If I get time to fix it all up before the race, then I'll do that. If not, then, well, YOLO. So let's get into the next thing.
So in my haste, I completely forgot to put plugs in it. So these are some BKR7Es, gap down to 0.6. So let's see if the LS1 coils can blow these suckers out. These engine mounting studs here have to go to make way for the cooling system, which has to come from around the back here, around the side, across here, and then down there and across up here as well. So hopefully these just screw out. We shall soon find out. Easy peasy. How's the alternator belt set up, by the way? With the aircon and power steering removed, I just sort of come up with something on the fly, and that's what I come up with. So the tensioner moves in reverse to how it originally did, but that's okay. It locks up nice and tight, and so much gap. It's totally not going to flutter and hit each other. What could possibly go wrong? Fans all set up, all done, ready to go. So let's reinstall that radiator. because the A340 is shifted electronically off 2 solenoids, I am making a manual shift box, complete with a Sloppy Mechanics trans brake, based off this diagram here. Big thanks to Toy Mods for actually keeping their forum online and me finding the information to make it happen. So with the shift box, I'll be able to shift it manually. So the Russ EFI has a support for a single knock sensor. It's in testing at the moment, so I thought, oh, I might as well try it. So I've got myself a BA knock sensor, which I'll connect up to the Russ EFI. Now, from everything I've read, I'm no Yoda on knock sensing and all that sort of stuff, but the knock sensors are sort of tuned to the bore size of the engine. Well, the 3.5s, believe it or not, are pretty close, so we'll give it a try. Because the Russ EFI is in testing on, I've decided, I've got a AU sensor here, which I just have lying around. I'm going to do a DIY set of knock ears based on an eBay hi-fi amplifier, which will connect up to this, and then, where is it? Output. That'll go into a set of earphones, and that should allow me to double check all the knocking is working in the Russ EFI and Tuner Studio. I was going to put it in the valley. This is why I've just pulled the intake manifold off and wrecked all my hard work. I thought the perfect spot would be these little bosses on the in the valley, but unfortunately they're M10s and the knock sensors are M8s. I can get studs, but that's not going to happen before this race, so I better look for somewhere on the outside of the block for them. Rightio, so we've only got room for one knock sensor, so I don't know if you can see that. That's where she's got to go. Right here, and I'll just have to use the knock headphones, and then I'll probably plug the Russ EFI in later.
Alrighty, things are getting down to the wire. So, we still have a transmission cooler to mount to the car. The original plan was to mount this up the back somewhere on the tray or whatever. We're also going to fit this fan to it because rear mounted, it doesn't get too much airflow. But, like I said, running out of time. So, if we don't drop this fan on the ground, we're going to mount this
on the grill.
Like that, on the grill. Actually, not like that. Reverse that. Like that on the grill. Outside, Buzoko style. And then we'll just run the lines in through there. And then we'll run that to the trans. How good's that? And in typical Bronson fashion, I've changed my mind 2 seconds into starting the job. It's now going like that. Ta-da.
So to power this beast, we've got an old lithium battery lying around from Bronson's XL racing days. Fortunately, it wasn't smashed in the accident, so we figured we'd use it on the car. Hopefully this doesn't count towards the budget because it'll shit all over it with the prices people charge for these things these days. Rightio, the battery is all mounted. Looking very pretty. Nice and reasonably tight. Should be right. Probably should have tested to make sure it worked first. Oh well. Well, this nightmare's been the last 2 weeks of my life. Getting there. So it's Wednesday night, and this is what the car looks like. A frickin' rat's nest. Luckily, I'm up to the pins. Finally, pin out time. ECU mount's done. Would you believe the ECU and shift box is finally wired, apart from the ground. Oh Jesus Christ! Apart from a sneaky ground wire, that's all done. So now I've got one more relay box to do. That shouldn't take too long. And then plug it in and start fault finding. There's always bugs to work out with these things, so hopefully there's nothing too drastic. How good are the cable ties? Oh yeah. That's only temporary. This shift box is just a proof of concept. So I'll do something a bit neater, a lot neater, if this one works. Rightio, off camera, I have finished the wiring. So we have a rear relay box and fuse box there. Drivers behind the driver's seat, there will be the battery and the rear relay box. Bit of wiring along there, a lot of wiring along there. Over to the ECU and shift box, which will be under the dash tray. A little bit of wiring from the shifter up, and we are good to test. Actually, that's a lie. We already tested and Bronson fucked up, but that's okay. We're used to it.
Well, there you have it. It's just about ready to start going through the startup process and getting this sucker running. Hopefully you've all enjoyed watching another weird and wacky video from us. If you have, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. And I'm gonna go now and try and fix this radiator leak. Catch you on the next one.
Where are we going? We're going to need lube. Oh, wrong screen.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I might need you to hold this actually. Yeah.
No, you can get fucked now.
Ooh. So close. Look at that. It's like I bought one. These are never going to blow off at the strip. Maybe on the highway, but definitely not on the strip.
What did you say, Cameron?
Happy fat. Just like me. Fat and happy. Oh, that's why it's such a pain in the ass. You use Nissan hoses. Nissan rubbers are always a dickhole. I've not had enough sleep for this shit. Manual valve body. No, not going manual valve body. Cut Bronson. In the shitter.
Picture delicious, golden, potatoey chippies. Imagine the crunch as you nibble on them, crinkle by crinkle. Bet you're thinking of Smith's chips. And if you weren't, you are now. Smith's joy is a simple recipe.
Sorry, Bronson.